So, you're all familiar na naman sa lubrication. This is we uh do lubrication systems, or we have lubrication systems uh to reduce friction, 'di ba? To reduce friction, to reduce wear, uh to create a cooling effect sa mga moving members. Kasi yung lubricant na ginagamit natin, they have this ability uh to cool, to provide cooling sa mga moving members. So that is how lubrication systems work. Nagre-reduce sila ng friction, nagre-reduce ng wear, and uh, nagbibigay ng cooling effect sa moving members. So, syempre, lubrication system uses lubricants. So lubricants are those substances that when inserted between the moving surfaces accomplishes these purposes. So, yun. Siyempre, lubricant is the main fluid that we use in lubrication systems. So, yun, that is the very purpose of lubrication system, to again reduce wear and reduce friction, kasi ini-aid nila yung contacting surfaces. So, yun nga, the most common lubrication systems are the hydrodynamic and hydrostatic lubrication. Uh, Gaya nung na-discuss sa video, 'di ba? The main or the most common are the hydrodynamic and hydrostatic lubrication. So, what are the difference between the two? The main difference is that sa hydrodynamic lubrications, the oil film was formed by the relative movement of the friction surface, whereas the hydrostatic lubrication, the oil film was formed on the friction surface by the external pressure oil. So, saglit lang. So yun, balik tayo. Ah, Hydrodynamic lubrication, gaya nung sinabi doon sa video. Ah, for example, saglit lang, ano, mawawala yung mouse ko. Sige. Ah, Hindi ko makita. Ah, for the hydrodynamic lubrication, for example, gaya ng sabi sa video, ah, ito yung ating bearing. Ito yung nasa gitna ng bearing, yung hollow part, yung journal area natin. Ah, dito, sa hydrodynamic lubrication yung lubricant natin is, continuously supplied dito sa loob ng bearing. Ipinapasok diyan, ipinapasok diyan yung ating, lubricant. So, dito sa loob ng, bearing natin, nandito yung shaft. For example, nandiyan yung shaft, ito yung shaft, 'yan. So since, itong ating lubricant is continuously supplied dito, so ibig sabihin magkaka-lubricant dito sa paligid nitong shaft, yung sa space, may lubricant 'yan, may lubricant. Yung lubricant that is not pressurized, siya ay ano pa lang, siya ay, ah, atmospheric pressure siya sinusupply dito. Continuous lang siya, so at atmospheric pressure na sinusupply siya dito. So, ibig sabihin papasok lang siya diyan, hindi yan pressurized. Papasok lang dito yung lubricant natin. So, yan. For example, nandiyan na. Nandiyan na yung lubricant. Itong shaft natin, ah, iikot yan. Di ba? Siyempre, umiikot yan. So, pag nag-start umikot yan, that would lead to, for example, ito yung second scenario. Yan. Nandito na yung shaft natin. Umiikot siya, eh. For example, umikot siya ta's dito at this point, kinonsider natin siya, in-evaluate natin. So, at this point, nandito na yung shaft kasi nga umiikot siya ta's may mga lubricant pa rin dito. Kung mapapansin niyo, ito, itong part na 'to hanggang dito, I mean yan diyan. Sorry naman may gumagamit kasi ng pen tablet ko. So, yan, ito, yang part na yan, kung mapapansin niyo 'di ba, from here, from dito and na-compress yung part na 'to, na-compress yung lubricant film dun. Na-compress siya, ibig sabihin gaya ng nasa sa thermodynamics 'di ba, 'pag nako-compress, tumataas yung pressure. Ibig sabihin sa pagnipis nung film natin dito ng lubricant, pagnipis ng film dito, mataas yung pressure, tumataas yung pressure diyan. So ibig sabihin 'pag tumataas yung pressure, mas kaya na niyang mag-carry ng mataas na load, ng higher loads. Kasi mataas yung pressure. So, siyempre 'di ba umiikot 'yan, mabilis yung ikot niyan. For example naman, nandito na yung shaft, nandito na sa part na 'to. So, ibig sabihin yung part na 'to, itong area na 'to, 'yan, yang area na 'yan, yang maliit na area na 'yan, that means yung part na 'yan, yung lubricant diyan ay nape-pressurize din. Tumataas yung pressure kasi nako-compress yung lubricant natin na sinusupply. So, in this case, tataas yung pressure ng lubricant gawa ng movement ng shaft, gawa ng rotation ng shaft na nako-compress yung lubricant natin sa loob nung ating, journal area ng bearing, nako-compress. So, anong ibig sabihin lang nun, yung hydrodynamic lubrication, since yung ating lubricant na ipinapasok ay at atmospheric pressure lang, mababa yung pressure, nape-pressurize lang siya because of the rotation ng shaft natin sa loob. Ibig sabihin nun, yung shaft yung nagbibigay ng pressure sa ating, lubricant film. So, basically yung hydrodynamic lubrication since mababa yung pressure niya and yung pressure lang ay ibinibigay ng shaft, this means that yung hydrodynamic lubrication is used for high speed applications. Sa matataas na speed tayo gumagamit ng lubrication system na hydrodynamic. Kasi again, nakadepende tayo, yung load na kaya nating, i-carry or i-carry ng bearing is dependent on the speed of the shaft. Kasi again, yung speed ng shaft yung ng, ah, nagpe-pressurize ng, lubricant film natin sa loob. So, again, hydrodynamic lubrication is used for high speed applications. Whereas naman kapag sinabi nating hydrostatic, saglit lang. Share ko kasi hindi ko makita yung mouse ko. Yan. Whereas kapag sinabi naman sorry, nakalimutan ako sabihin dito sa hydrodynamic lubrication. Since, 'di ba, hydrodynamic lubrication, kung, mapapansin niyo, itong shaft na 'to, wala siya sa gitna. Wala siya sa gitna ng bearing. Bakit? Kasi, yung ating supply ng lubricant ay not pressurized. Wala siyang bitbit na pressure. So, hindi niya kayang itulak yung shaft sa gitna ng bearing. Hindi niya kayang itulak dito na maging, yung center ng shaft ay maging centered ay nasa center ng bearing. Hindi magawa ng lubricant kasi hindi siya pressurized. Yung sinusupply natin siya, hindi niya kayang itulak pagitna yung shaft. So, in hydrodynamic bearing, yung, center ng shaft ay naka-offset. Ano ibig sabihin ng naka-offset? Wala siya sa gitna. Naka-offset yung center niya. So, that is why we call it as eccentric. Eccentric yung, position ng bearing natin. Eccentric yung position ng shaft natin sa bearing. Kasi hindi sila pareho ng center, naka-offset yung center, nakaipod yung center. Kasi gano'n gano'n yung mechanism ng system na 'to para ma-pressurize itong mga nasa gilid kapag umikot yung shaft, mape-pressurize, so that will, make it carry loads para ma-pressurize. Kaya naka-eccentric 'yan. Whereas kapag naman hydrostatic lubrication, for example ito, yung ating, bearing, yung gitna ng bearing, yung pinaka-hollow part, ah, yung ating lubricant na nandito sa tangke, for example, this is the tank, the lubricant tank, bobombahin 'yan using pump. Papasok yung ating lubricant dito sa, bearing journal natin. Papasok siya diyan papasok siya diyan from, the pump, galing sa pump. Kasi, the purpose of the pump is to, increase the pressure ng lubricant. Kasi, again sa thermodynamics, sa ideology natin sa dynamics, we are using pump to increase the pressure of fluid kasi kinocompress siya dito sa loob. Kinocompress siya then ilalabas at high pressure. So ibig sabihin yung shaft natin sa loob ng bearing, for example nandito yung shaft natin. Since pressurized, pressurized na yung lubricant na ibinobomba natin sa loob, mataas na yung pressure paglabas ng pump, ta's ibobomba natin dito paloob ng bearing, mataas yung pressure. So, matutulak niya yung, itong ating shaft papunta dito sa gitna, gigitna yung shaft natin. So, 'pag gumitna na yan, masa-stabilize yan diyan kasi nga pressurized yung lubricant film natin. So, 'pag napuno 'to ng lubricant 'pag napuno 'to ng lubricant, since pressurized nga ba 'di ba, pressurized yung ating, lubricant dito. So, ito yung lubricant film natin, nandiyan sa paligid ng shaft, pressurized 'yan, mataas yung pressure, mas-stabilize yung shaft sa gitna. The reason why we are calling a hydrostatic lubrication as concentric lubrication. Concentric kasi yung center ng shaft ay nasa center ng bearing. They are sharing the same center, aligned yung center nila. That is why hydrostatic lubrication is concentric. And again, this is happening because of the increase of pressure ng lubricant na isinusupply natin sa loob ng bearing. Mataas na yung pressure, kaya nagiging concentric. And since stabilized siya o stable yung ating, shaft sa gitna, then this means, kaya nitong mag-carry ng higher loads. So, we are using this hydrostatic lubrication sa mga nagbubuhat, sa mga elevators, 'yan. Gumagamit ng hydrostatic lubrication 'yan kasi, stable yung shaft, yung nagtra-transmit ng power stable. So, kaya niyang yung ating, lubricant since siya ay pressurized, kaya niyang mag-carry ng high load. That is the main difference. Again, hydrodynamic, since hindi pressurized yung ating lubricant film do'n, ang nagpe-pressurize is yung shaft, yung rotation ng shaft that is used for whereas hydrostatic is for high load applications. And then that is the main difference ng dalawa, hydrodynamic and hydrostatic lubrication. So, uh, hydrodynamic lubrication nga is called fluid film or thick film, flooded lubrication, and there has to be pressure buildup in the film kasi nga nako-compress yung ating film due to the relative motion of the surfaces, specifically the shaft kasi shaft yung ating rotating member. So, yon. This is how it works. Yan, parallel. Then, ito yung sinasabi kong diagram. Kung i-analyze nyo, di ba? Yan, ito yung ating shaft. Tapos ito yung bearing natin. Ito yung nasa loob. Nandito yung lubricant. So, pag umikot yung shaft, syempre, iikot yan ng iikot. So, nako-compress yung part na to. Nako-compress, nagiging pressurized yung part na to. So, pag pressurized yan, syempre, iikot yung shaft, iikot. Lahat ng parts magiging pressurized. Magiging, makaka-handle na siya ng loads because of the rotation ng shaft. So, yan. This is how it works sa simula. Syempre, ah, stationary pa siya. So, nakadikit pa yan dito. Tapos, susuplayan natin dito ng lubricant. Then, iikot. 'Pag umikot yan, mape-pressurize. That would tend to lift ng konti lang yung shaft since rotating siya ng rotating. And ito ay hindi pressurized pa yung ating lubricant. Iikot ng ikot until such time na magkaroon ng pressure built up, magkaka-space, then that space would compress, then that would be pressurized and would allow the bearing to carry loads. So, yan. Gaya ng sabi ko, 'di ba, do'n sa part na nako-compress yung film, pagliit nun or when the thickness decreases, tataas yung kayang i-carry ng load ng bearing. Kasi again, pressurized yun. So, ibig sabihin sa pagnipis nun, nako-compress pagtaas ng pressure. Pagtaas ng pressure, pagtaas ng load na kayang i-carry ng bearing. So, that is the main purpose of hydrodynamic lubrication. So, siyempre pagtaas ng pressure din, pagtaas ng viscosity. Gaya nung ating formula ng viscosity na shearing, sa shearing pressure equals viscosity times the change in velocity with respect sa thickness ng film. So, yon sa thickness ng film, excuse me, doon naka-base yung ating pressure. So, yon. And again, siyempre, functions ng lubricating oil again, that reduces friction, reduces wear, acts as a cooling medium. Siyempre, hindi na nagdidikit gawa ng lubricant, so nare-reduce din yung noise. Nagpo-provide siya ng sealing action at cushioning effect and as well cleaning action. So, itong requirements na discuss na natin to, types ng lubricants na discuss na din natin. Ito din. Tapos ito yung common parts na nagre-require ng lubrication. That the main crankshaft bearing, big end bearings, gudgeon pin bearings, piston rings, and cylinder walls, timing gear, camshaft and camshaft bearing, valve mechanism, and electrical equipment. So yan yung purpose nga. So that is the hydrodynamic lubrication. Let's proceed to hydrostatic lubrication. Again, hydrostatic lubrication requires an external pump. That ang pinaka-function niya ay to pressurize the liquid or to pressurize the lubricant para pag ipinasok natin or ibinomba natin, inintroduce natin yung lubricant sa loob ng bearing, pressurize siya, kaya niyang mag-increase or mapa-move or mapa-stabilize yung shaft natin sa gitna ng bearing. So stable siya, mas kaya niyang mag-handle ng high loads. And uh, gaya ng sabi dito, there is no physical contact during startup and shutdown as in hydrodynamic lubrication. Kasi nga, yung tinasabing no contact kasi nga, yung ating lubricant na yung pressurized, siya yung, may nagpapa-move, siya yung nagsis ah, nagpapagitna, nagse-stabilize nga ng ating shaft sa gitna. So wala na 'pag nasa gitna na siya, there will be no contact na on the surfaces ng bearing, journal, and, shaft. So yun. So ito yung diagram ng PNID ng, PNID ng ating, hydrostatic lubrication itong right. So siyempre magmumula siya sa tank, then yung, isu-supply niya or dadalhin siya sa pump. Yung pump bobombahin yan papasok sa ating bearing and, yung excess doon sa bearing, that will, be returned to the tank again for, continuous operation for recirculation. And yung function ng ating, pressure relief valve, siyempre yung excess diyan na babalik ay need bumaba ang pressure, need ulit pababain yung pressure kasi 'pag mataas yung pressure ng ating lubricant at ipinasok mo sa tank, that will cause, bursting ng tank, sasabog yung tank. Kasi again, yung design 'pag nagde-design tayo ng tangke based sa ating, deformable bodies, excuse me, nagde-design tayo ng tangke ng mga pressure vessels, it is, designed based on the pressure that it can handle, the bursting pressure, yung inside pressure nun. So, kung mataas yung pressure ng lubricant na inilabas pa rin ng ating galing bearing, it needs to, go to the pressure relief valve para bumaba ang pressure. So, yun. And ito, yung calculation natin, be familiar with this. Sa pressure distribution, ah, kailangan nating i-consider yung flow, that is, H cube, or H is for the film thickness, yung thickness ng ating film. Sa loob ng ito yon kung makikita niyo sa diagram, ito, thickness niyan. 'Pag tiningnan mo yan sa taas, ito yan. Ito, thickness ng film. Yan, 'pag tiningnan mo yan sa taas, ito yung thickness ng film. Ito dito sa diagram sa 2D. Yan, diyaan dumadaan yung ating lubricant. So that's, H cube over 12, dynamic viscosity times the negative of the change in pressure with respect sa radius. Radius ng, ating, recess. Ito yung recess natin. Itong ating, ah, film. So, where, dP over dR is equal to the recess pressure over R, uh, ln RO over RI. So, simplifying, this is our flow. Ito yung formula ng flow natin, pakitandaan. Then, since ang volumetric flow rate, yung formula niya is, 2 pi Rn, wherein R is the radius. So, substitute lang natin itong Q na nakuha natin dito. So, this is going to be this. And further simplification, ang formula natin ng volumetric flow rate ay ito. Pi h cube over 6 dynamic viscosity times the recess pressure over ln RO over RI. This is already the simplified, version. Kung makikita nyo sa reference natin, ah, yung, yang formula na yan, kung gusto niyo makita yung derivation, nandun siya sa reference book na sinend ko sa Google Classroom. Puwede niyo rin siyang gamiting reference, for your, ah, research, sa inyong research. So yan. And if siyempre, engineers tayo, so if we need to use or to find the pressure, we can just rearrange this formula and we could get P equals 6 mu D flow over pi h cube ln RO over RI. So that's the formula for pressure. So, Pascal calculus natin, yung mga work problems natin, alam natin ang formula is the integral ng P derivative ng area. That's a PdA. Siyempre, 'pag inintegral mo, yan, that would be, we will get the load or the work. ito ay work problem, so load capacity yan. So we will get uh, bearing load at Newton, expressed in newtons. So given tayo ng recess pressure, this is our formula, pi PR over 2, quantity the difference of the squares of RO and RI, ln RO over RI. And kapag naman ang given ay Q, or ang hinahanap ay Q, given tayo ng load, you can just substitute yung formula natin ng recess pressure with respect sa ating flow rate kanina. So this would be our formula for load capacity. Yan, ito. Kindly take note of this kasi gagamitin nyo yan. Then, ang film stiffness naman, this is expressed in Newton per meter. That is just equal to negative uh, negative thrice ng ating load capacity over ng film thickness. Again, this negative 3 kapag film stiffness ng hydrostatic. Hydrostatic, negative 3. Next naman, frictional torque. This is the formula ng frictional torque. Pi mu d angular velocity over 2h times the fourth power of the difference of the difference of the fourth powers ng outer radius natin at yung recess radius. Wherein itong W, that is the angular velocity. Yan yung giniven kapareho nung nasa exam natin, expressed in rad per second. Para i-convert yan, rad, syempre, rad, i-convert mo. So that's 2 pi over 1 rad. Mali, hindi. Ito, that's pi rad over 180. Pag mag-ano tayo, conversion, then uh, revolution ay equal sa 2 pi. Kasi 'di ba ang revolution ay equal sa 2 pi rad over 1 rev. So yan, kaya siya naka-rad per second. Kailangan natin naka-rad per second. Kinonvert natin itong N at RPM. Ginawa nating rad per second. So, yon. Kapag nagsulat tayo ng torque, ah, ibig sabihin meron tayong ah, frictional losses kasi umiikot. Umiikot siya. So, may frictional losses tayo. That is torque times the angular velocity. So, that's Newton meter times rad per second. So, that's gonna be Newton meter per second or equal siya sa watts. Same goes with the pumping loss. 'Di ba? Sa thermo, PV equals MRT. Itong PV ay equal sa work, ang MRT equal sa work or power. So ito PV, this is PV, recess pressure, volume flow rate. P times V, or dito Q yung ginamit natin kasi volume flow rate. So recess pressure times volume flow rate, that is the pumping loss. So ang total power loss is just the summation ng losses natin due to friction at losses natin due to pumping. Pumping, kaya tayo may pumping losses kasi meron tayong pump. And ah, kapag sa tanong walang binanggit na friction losses, assume frictionless yung ating engine or yung ating machine. Assume frictionless. So pag frictionless yan, then ibig sabihin ang total power loss natin is just equal to the pumping loss. So ito naman, temperature rise. This is just the same, di ba? Pag kumukuha tayo ng power, we also express this at MCP delta T. MCP delta T. So yung M, 'di ba? M is equal to the density times the volume, CP delta T. So that's it. Ito yung power natin, total power natin. So yung V, this is just expressed in Q kasi volume flow rate lang din yan. Volume flow rate. So ito lang ay per unit time kaya naging Q. So that is the formula natin na temperature rise. MCP delta T equals the power. So i-transpose lang natin. We could get delta T equals the power over density volume times specific heat. So ito naman, this is the coefficients na pwede natin gamitin sa pagto-solve. So for load coefficient, this is our load coefficient. For flow rate coefficient, this is the formula. And for the pumping coefficient, pumping loss, this is the formula. Kindly be familiar with these formulas. Yan, example problem. Saglit lang. Yan, hello. So balik tayo dito. So ito yung sample problem na ninyong aralin. So ah meron tayong given na outside diameter, this is RO. Then recessed diameter, or sorry, this is DO. Pero kalahati siya kaya siya dito 200 millimeters kasi radius. Yung kung mapapansin nyo sa formula natin, radius yung ginagamit, outer radius. And recessed diameter or the inner diameter is 250. So RO is 125 kalahati kasi given natin is diameter. Next is calculate the recessed pressure, that is PR. This is recessed pressure. So next, may given tayong load. This is already our W. May given tayo ng load. Kasi nahanap yung volumetric flow rate, that is yung Q. This is volumetric flow rate. Then, meron tayong thickness ng film. This is H. Sa formula natin, thickness is H. Then, dynamic viscosity, which is 30 centipoise. Ito yon. May given, hinahanap din natin yung pumping loss which is HP, and the temperature rise delta T. Then may given tayong density na 880 kilogram per cubic meter and specific heat at 1.88 joule per gram Kelvin. So kompleto tayo ng given. We will just find isa-isa yan lahat. Madali lang to. Kasi isa-substitute lang natin. Meron tayong given na load. Hinahanap sa una, recessed pressure sa letter A. So ito yung unknown. So meron tayong outer diameter na given. Meron din tayong recess radius, or this is the outer radius and the recess radius. Maso-solve natin sa shift solve ito, recess pressure. That is 1 megapascal. So ngayong na-solve na natin 'tong recess pressure, kukuha na natin yung flow, letter B. Yung flow, substitute lang din ulit, meron tayong thickness ng film, may dynamic viscosity, may recess pressure tayo na-solve, may outer and inner or outer and recess radius. So maso-solve natin 'tong volume flow rate. Next, film stiffness, ang kailangan lang natin dun is yung load and yung film thickness, which is -3 load times over uh, film thickness. So that is uh, Newton per meter ito. Next is pumping loss. Formula natin is PV, or the pressure times volume. So pressure, na-solve natin kanina, times volume. Pascal second is Newton per m squared, 'di ba? Times m cube per second. That's gonna be cancel, may matitirang isa. Newton meter per second or watts. Kaya naka-watts to. That's our pumping loss. And sa ating delta T, uh, assume, again, since wala tayong kinuhang torque, so we assume that ang ating total na losses is equal sa pumping loss. Kasi assume natin again na frictionless yung engine. So substitute lang dito yung delta T. Yung na-solve nating volume flow rate, may given tayong density at specific heat. Ito, conversion 'to kasi, ito naka-gram, ito naka-gram. So, ibig sabihin 1,000 grams over 1 kilogram. Cancel, 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 cancel. That's just conversion and makukuha nating temperature rise is 0.74 degrees Celsius. So, ganyan. Kaya very critical ang pagsasaulo niyo ng formula. Yang formula na yan, gagamitin yan next week sa quiz. Ganyan lang yung gagawin. Sa-substitute nyo lang sa mga formulas na yan. Then, next is hydrodynamic lubrication na calculations. That is naman, pag kung ang sinusolve natin ay film thickness, H, that is H over H sub 0 equals 1 plus M, quantity 1 minus X over L. Itong L dito, this is the length ng pad natin. Then ito is the slope, where a slope natin is calculated using the HI or the thickness I over H0 minus 1. At kapag walang sinabi sa tanong, if not stated ang slope sa tanong, assume at maximum slope or at maximum pressure. At max pressure, ang slope na gagamitin is 1.1889. That is the slope na gagamitin. Automatic to. Kapag walang sinabi sa tanong, i-assume na at maximum pressure, ang slope is 1.1889. So, ito naman, yung formula natin sa pressure. This is, this is 6 mu d VL over HO squared, quantity the slope, X over L, quantity 1 minus X over L, all over 2 plus M, 1 plus M minus M, X over L, quantity squared. This one is the pressure coefficient. Kaya pag sinubstitute dito, ito na lang siya. Itong 6, wala tong 6. So, yan. That is the formula for pressure distribution ng hydrodynamic lubrication. At kapag naman ang maximum pressure yung isinusolve natin, this is our formula where V, this V is for velocity, L is the length ng pad natin, H sub O is the thickness ng film, M is the slope. And this, itong naka-parenthesis, that is our maximum pressure coefficient. This is maximum pressure coefficient. Then, ang load capacity, this is always per unit width. Ito'y width to. This is width. So again, gagamitin natin yung dynamic viscosity, velocity, length, film thickness, and slope. This is already the derived formula. Ito na yung pinakamaikling formula. So, and this is our load coefficient. So, yan. Again, gaya na sabi ko, yung maximum load at maximum pressure depends sa value ng ating slope. Pag walang sinabi, ibig sabihin yung optimum load natin at yung optimum pressure ay nasa slope of M equals 1.1889. And kapag hahanapin natin yung maximum pressure, yung location niya, 'di ba again, hydrodynamic at lubrication tayo, like for example, nandito yung shaft, hinahanap yung location nito at maximum pressure dito. Yung formula niya is X sub M equals the length times 1 plus M all over 2 plus M. So, yan, that is the formula for uh, location ng ating maximum pressure, ito. Then, sa film stiffness naman ng hydrodynamics, except na 3, this is going to be 2 lang, negative 2. Kapag hydrodynamic, 2 ang gagamitin pag hydrodynamic. Kapag hydrostatic, kanina, ang formula ng stiffness is 3, yung variable or yung number dito, numerical value. And kapag naman volumetric flow rate, again, we analyze it per unit width. So naka-Q over B yan. May value tayo nito, binibigay. Tas kailangan natin gamitin yung velocity at yung ating ah, thickness. This is our thickness over 2. Pero 'pag ang binigay ay film thickness, that's going to be H sub O, 1 plus M all over 2M, 2 plus M, and this is going to be our flow rate coefficient. Yan. Then kapag ang sinol naman is shear force per unit width, again, F over BP yan kasi per unit width, naka-divide yung force per unit width. Gagamitin din natin yung dynamic viscosity, yung velocity, yung length, at yung film thickness. So, yan. Tapos, ita-times natin using this, using our shearing force coefficient or F sub prime. This is our shearing force coefficient yan. So, yan. And coefficient ng friction, that is just equal to the shearing force over the load capacity. So, it would be it would be easier kapag sinolve nyo yung force, tapos sinolve nyo yung load capacity, malimit yung load capacity is given. So, iso-solve nyo lang yung force, makukuha nyo na yung coefficient of friction. Pero if gusto nyo, ayaw nyo mag-solve ng force, you can also memorize and be familiar with this long formula na ang gagamitin lang natin, dapat alam mo yung length, alam mo yung film thickness at yung slope. And ang power loss due to friction and due to viscous stress is just the common formula for power is also force times velocity. Sa inyong physics, that's force times velocity. That's basically the same dito. Force times velocity. So, if gusto nyo, mahabang formula, ito, sa uluhin. Yan. So, ang temperature rise, that is still the same. MCP delta T pa rin yan. Equals power. So, substitute lang yan. Kaya naka-volumetric flow rate at density. And mean temperature Tm, this is just equal to the inlet plus the change in temperature all over, over 2. So that's going to be our inlet temperature. So tandaan, yung mga formulas na yan. Then sample problem, dito sa sample problem meron tayong given na length. Ito, yung length. Then meron tayong width. This is yung B. May thickness tayo. This is H sub O. Then a sliding velocity. This is our velocity, V. Tapos may absolute viscosity tayo. This is our absolute viscosity, mu sub D. Tapos hinahanap natin maximum pressure. So ibig sabihin maximum pressure natin kanina yung formula natin na PM. This is it at yung location niya, X sub M. So yan. Letter B, naghahanap din tayo ng normal load capacity. So hinahanap natin yung W. Hinahanap din natin yung film stiffness, volume flow rate, at yung shear force. So 'pag nakuha natin 'tong shear force at yung normal load, makukuha natin si coefficient ng friction, then power loss at ating temperature rise. Kasi may given naman tayong density dito, this is the density and the specific heat. So 'yan. Again, ang kailangan lang ay alam ang formula dito. So 'yan, substitute lang tayo ulit ng formula. Since kung mapapansin niyo walang binigay na slope, so assume at optimum conditions, optimum capacity, this is 1.1889. Gaya ng ginamit natin dito sa solution. So substitute lang, meron tayong dynamic viscosity, meron tayong velocity, meron tayong length, meron tayong film thickness na given, maso natin si ah, maximum pressure. Same goes with dito since meron tayong assumption na slope, tapos may length tayo, just cross multiply, makukuha natin yung location ng maximum pressure. Then ganun din, substitution lang lahat ng 'to sa formula. So meron tayong given na width, so substitute lang meron tayo nitong viscosity, velocity, length, stiffness, thickness, then slope. Natin si W. 'Pag na-solve si W, na natin si film stiffness, substitute lang yung value dito, uh, over HO, then this is our, film stiffness. Gano'n din dito lang sa formula ng flow rate, meron tayong velocity, meron tayong film stiffness, meron tayong slope. So, makukuha agad natin yung, flow rate. Same goes with sa, pagkuha ng shearing force, substitution lang 'to, may width tayo, may dynamic viscosity, may velocity, may length, may, film thickness. Makukuha natin 'to, since na-solve natin 'tong force, na-solve din natin yung, load capacity, makukuha natin yung coefficient ng friction. So, 'pag nakuha natin yung force, makukuha rin natin yung, power loss using, force times velocity. So, 'yun 'pag yung, nakuha na natin yung, pumping loss, makukuha na natin again from MCP delta T yung ating, ito power loss, makukuha natin yung delta T using this at ito yung ating temperature rise. So, 'yun, gano'n, ah, prinovide ko na yung, calculation sa modules niyo. So, pakiaral that is already, the derived, calculations. That is the derived calculations, pakiaral kasi yun na rin yung lalabas sa exam kaya, ah, giniide ko lang giniide ko lang kayo sa, pag-a-analyze kasi, that is for you as well to study and be familiar with, the calculations. But then again, sa exam, it's, going to be objective type and calculations as well. So, yun. Sinong may tanong? Sinong may tanong? Yes po.
Sir, i-se-send niyo po yung presentation po dun sa G-Classroom.
Sorry. Wag ka daw bastos. Sino nag-overtime ngayon? Yun, yung ano, yung, yung presentation kasi that is already on your, modules. Sayang naman kung hindi niyo siya bubuklatin. Nandun yun, pinakadulong part, pinakahuling page pa nga ata yun, yun. Nandun na yun sa module niyo. So, yung module niyo naman ewan ko dun sa nag-print dalawahan lang, eh, di kitang-kita niyo naman siya dun, malinaw yun at colored din, 'di ba, colored din ata yun, yun. Sino pang may tanong? Sino pang may tanong? Sino pang may tanong? Sino pang may tanong?
Wala naman na po ata, sir.
Sige, again, aralin niyo yung calculation na, ah, yun na yun. Parehong-pareho lang nung nasa quiz niyo. So, aralin niyo para tumaas yung scores niyo. Ang mahalaga lang naintindihan niyo yung, concept ng hydrostatic and hydrodynamic lubrication. So, if wala ng tanong, pa-open cam muna. Pa-open cam tapos, class rep, pa-send sa GC ng screenshot ng attendance na 'to, though hindi naman required ang attendance.